I want to answer the most commonly asked question on my social media channels, and that is, who styles you? I'm excited to welcome Albina Gaisina, also known as Galbi, to talk about acne scars today. Galbi is an ex-model, and she is now an art director, but she's had acne during her career and now has acne scars, so she's the perfect person to have this discussion with.
Yes, thank you, Simran, for inviting me. Yes, I have a lot of questions for you today. What is the acne scars?
Acne scars are caused when the skin is injured from acne or a pimple. And when that pimple goes away, our skin has to repair. When that repair doesn't happen perfectly, that's how we get a scar. And then I'm sure the next question you're going to have is, well, why wouldn't it happen perfectly? Well, that's because people who have acne also have inflammation. Acne is an inflammatory condition, and that inflammation interferes with the perfect repair of skin after a pimple has resolved itself.
So is there any kind of treatments or maybe a combination of treatments that can heal the acne scars?
So a lot of people used to think that lasers can get rid of acne scars, but we've learned that they're not the best treatment because they're not as effective. And they can also be pretty risky for darker skin tones. Oh. So in my world, when I look at acne scars, I don't go straight to lasers. The treatment category that works best on acne scars is microneedling. And microneedling is something that is safe for all skin tones and can be used in different ways depending on how deep the acne scars are, how long they've been around, because we can add things to microneedling treatments to enhance its effect.
All right, that's interesting. But what about the chemical peels and collagen boosting in the skincare?
So chemical peels are also commonly advertised as taking away acne scars, but they just don't. And that's because chemical peels are very superficial. They're great for reducing pigment or dark spots, but they're only going to affect the skin on a superficial layer. They sort of peel away our superficial layer that has pigment. Acne scars are very deep. You have to get to the deep layer of the skin called the dermis. And the only way to safely and effectively go to that is with microneedling.
So microneedling is the best treatments that you can do for your skin, right?
Yes, and then you also asked about collagen skincare. And on that, I'm going to say yes. I don't think collagen stimulating skincare will effectively reduce your acne, but it can start the process, and it's actually the right thing to have on board when you are investing in treatments like microneedling. Mm-hmm. But the other thing also is that when you're doing microneedling, you can add other collagen boosters, like your own growth factors, a process called PRP, or plasma-rich platelets, where we take growth factors from your own blood and add it to the skin while we microneedle. Or things like exosomes, stem cells, which are getting more popular, but exosomes and stem cells enhance the repair of the skin by giving messages to your skin to repair in a stronger way, more rapid way. So those are other ways of collagen boosting with your microneedling.
Wow, that sounds like a really good solution for the acne.
Yes, it can sound intense. It's not that bad. It actually, believe it or not, doesn't hurt. People are pleasantly surprised that these treatments actually don't even hurt.
All right, I have one more question about hormones. So I know that hormones really affect acne, but so can I also take hormone treatments to treat my acne scars, or I shouldn't?
So, I'm glad you asked that, because it is very, very common for doctors to prescribe their patients birth control to reduce acne. And I found in my practice that is actually not very effective, even though it sounds logical. What's more effective, and surprisingly so, is a medicine to treat blood pressure, an antihypertensive called spironolactone. Spironolactone actually reduces testosterone just to a small extent, which drives down the tendency to have breakouts. It's very effective. It's not a form of birth control, and it interestingly also has barely any side effects and is more effective than doing any kind of hormone therapy.
Okay. Thank you, Simran.
Well, thank you, Galbi, for being here today. And before we end this conversation, I want to answer the most commonly asked question on my social media channels, and that is, who styles you? So I want to reveal that it is Galbi. Galbi is not only a talented art director, but an amazing stylist who has always styled me. So I want to thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Simran.